Godfrey mange une pomme.
Today I'll be teaching you how
Godfrey
to make
mange
a
une
sentence
pomme.
So what you just heard was French pronunciation of the sentence. Okay, Godfrey mange une pomme. Now the thing is, in this sentence, how to make it? It's very simple. Just like in other languages, in French, a sentence is made up of three parts: the subject, the verb, and the object. Okay. Subject is the main noun or the main topic of the sentence about which we are talking. So in this sentence, by the way, the meaning of the sentence in English is Godfrey is eating an apple. Okay, or Godfrey eats an apple. So Godfrey, the name of a boy, is the subject here in the sentence. Okay, manger means to eat in French. The story is a little bit more complicated than that, but I will tell you that in a future video. By the way, manger means to eat. Okay, so manger here is the verb, and then we have in the end une pomme. Okay, so pomme means apple, and it is the object. Okay, because object is the noun which on which the effect of the subject lies. Okay, just so you know. So one sentence, three parts: subject, verb, and object. Subject, the main thing of the sentence, the main topic of the sentence about which we are talking. Okay, mange, the action of the verb, action of the subject, sorry, and pomme, the noun or the thing on which the effect of the action of the subject lies. Okay, that's all there is to it in making a French sentence. Okay, now in a complicated sentence, what happens is that usually your subject or object would be missing, or they would be a little bit more complicated, like a phrase. But in a simple sentence, this is what it usually be. Here, in place of the subject, you will have a noun, and then you will have a verb, and then you will have an object. Okay, now before this object pomme, which means apple, we have this thing. It's nothing but an indefinite article. Okay, so in French, just like in English, we have articles, definite and indefinite. Just like in English, we have the definite article the. Okay, and the indefinite articles a, an. Similarly, here in French, we have un, de as indefinite articles, and le, la, and les as definite articles. Three of them, indefinite ones. Okay, so the first one is for if the noun followed by this article is a male. So in French, every noun has a gender. Okay, and there are only two genders in French. We have the male and the female. There is no neutral like it in English. Okay, so is for male, singular, singulier, if you would, in French. Un is for female, singular, and de is for plural. Thankfully, when we have the plural, we don't make distinction between male and female. We just have one day. That's it. Okay. And for definite articles, we have. Let me just write it down here. Le, la, sorry. Le. Okay. We use them when we are talking about something in particular. Okay, like we can say la France. Okay, and because France, according to French, is a female country, feminine country. Okay, so we will use la France, la, and not le, le France. Okay, la France. And similarly, les, they all. So these the three, it is pronounced. This one is pronounced as le, this is as la, and this is as le. Okay, and this will be used obviously when the object is something plural, like let us say a plural country like United States. Okay, so they will write this as les and États-Unis. That's what they call it. Okay, and that's how they write it. It's like kind of saying States United. Okay, the States United. So anyways, this is all you need to know to make a very basic sentence in French. Okay, now the thing here is apart from the articles and boosting your vocabulary in knowing more and more nouns and names, and obviously trying to know their genders also, which is, I know, a bit tricky, and there is a lot of learning work in French. I would say getting used to is the word, not learning. Don't make a list and just muck things up. But yeah, so the thing is, another thing is that yeah, so in the next video I'll tell you about or maybe let me just tell you here this quickly. So this verb which is written here, manger, which means to eat, by the way, it comes from the root manger. Okay, this is how you will find this word in the dictionary. And what happens in French, just like in other languages, we conjugate the verb when we use it. Okay, so conjugating means transforming the verb depending on the tense. Okay, depending on the tense, and not just the tense, but in French the form of the verb changes depending upon the gender and number of the subject. So here Godfrey is the name of a boy and it's a male. Okay, so because it's a male and he's one in number, so we are using manger. Okay, so similarly, depending on the tense, or if the number here change, let us say it was a group of boys and we were referring to them as they, then this will still be pronounced as mange only, which is a good thing. Okay, but yeah, the spelling will change. Okay, so that usually happens in French, but that's conjugation. We'll cover that in a separate video, but that's just about it for this one. These are the three basic elements of a French sentence: subject, which is the name here, okay, and the verb and the object, and before the object, which is also a noun, you will usually find an article. Okay, now the reason is, you might be thinking why there is no article before Godfrey. The reason is we don't use an article when we write names of people in French. Okay, anyways, okay, so that's it about this video, and I'll see you in the next one. A bientôt. Au revoir.